Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there, not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.
Hello, everybody. God bless you. Shalom and blessing to all. Welcome again to the Crystal Jones Show. It's the show that's all about life's balance. As today, you're going to see the topics that we're talking about. We're basically finding our way. We, as a people who were brought here through slavery and whatnot, were forced here rather, we're now getting to the point where we are finding our way, owning our own land and businesses and things, which we've been doing all along, but we've had, different eras where not so many of us did, or that type of thing. But now that we're getting to the point where we're knowing who we are, where we came from, these are the things that we need to get into, because again, I tell you, someday we will return back to our land. So welcome to the show. I'm your talk show host, Crystal Jones. All right. And I'm thankful for you all joining in the show to learn about our heritage. All right. Now, my show has a new weekly air day and time and channel. It's on Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on BronxNet.tv, channel 951 on, I believe it's Optimum, and 2137, okay, on Fios. This is the Inspire channel. So I'm new to this particular channel. Many of you know me from channel 70 and channel 68. This is my 9th year of production, so many of you do know me. But if you don't, welcome to the show. It's all about life's balance. Also, you can get in touch with me on YouTube, the Crystal Jones TV show. You'll see all the latest shows that I've done. So they'll be uploaded to YouTube before they will be on television. So subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button to like my videos so that we can draw attention and traffic for others who would like to share and learn. Share my videos as well. So you'll see me on YouTube and Facebook, the Crystal Jones TV show. All right. Also on Instagram at the Crystal Jones Show. And you can write to me always, the Crystal Jones Show at gmail.com. All right. So today in the news, we are going to hit a topic that we've been talking about. I've been bringing awareness to the racial prejudices and profilings that are being done to my people, right? Which is Black American. Well, they call us Black American people. But now that we all know where we came from, we know that we are the original bloodline Hebrew people. So we've been saying this all along, that the officers are given quotas to arrest Black people and Latinos. All right. So we have here in the daily news, this is recent, it's June 20th. You could go read it for yourself. Okay. There are 4 officers. All right. And as much as New York portrays itself to be this great city that, oh no, and America does that too. Oh no, America's not. And I'm amazed when I see politicians talking about, this is not a prejudiced country. There's no racism here and all of this stuff. Like, what world do they live in, right? And as much as people admire us from all of these other countries and stuff like this, this country is just as bad as the other countries when it comes to racism. It's just hidden. So we have here in the daily news, 4 officers say in new affidavits that arrest quota system targeted Black and Latino New Yorkers. So I guess no one was lying about it, right? 4 NYPD officers say in new sworn declarations that an off-the-books arrest quota system targeted Black and Latino New Yorkers, with one cop recalling a white supervisor asking, "Are you going to take someone's freedom today?" So these white supremacists think this stuff is funny. And it's because they're able to get away, like the insurrection at the Capitol and all the Karens and the Kens and things like that. They think that racism is okay. They still see us as these Black people that were enslaved and all of this kind of stuff. They really have this demonic mindset against our people, right? So it says there's a new document soon to be filed in Manhattan federal court, the Daily News has learned, add further detail to a long-running suit launched by 4 other minority cops claiming they faced retaliation for not arresting enough people of color. White officers allegedly did not face the arrest expectations. So you're expected, if I'm, and I mean, they're gonna look me in my face knowing that if I'm a police officer, I'm supposed to go out and arrest my own people just so that they can fill their quotas. You know what I'm saying? This is totally ridiculous. And this is what I was talking about, that this system is never going to change because you have white racist people at the top of every entity here in this country. Okay? They're from they're top wizards, and then all of these kind of racist type groups that are against people of color. All right. So especially Blacks and Latinos. Okay. They just absolutely despise us doing anything anywhere we are, they follow us, they pull our people over in the cars and all kind of stuff. I'm even hearing from some airline flight attendants that at some of the biggest airlines, how racist they are towards the flight attendants, that they allow people to call them the N-word and treat them any kind of way. And their corporate offices at a lot of these airlines do absolutely nothing about it at all. So, we're seeing this racist mentality. And so defunding the police or anything like that is not going to help it. What it's going to do is, if you defund the police, that's their way of not wanting to even come into our communities and protect us. So as you saw with the white police, he was a fire chief. He had said, let them kill each other and all kind of things like that. So this is who you have at the helm of these entities that are supposed to protect us here in America. That's why I say we have to get in our own communities, get our own police offices and stations and stuff like that, because they are not for us. They're not. So it doesn't make sense for us to be trying to be equal. You don't want to be equal with people like that anyway. You don't, because it's wicked. Not saying that all white people are like that, but the racist ones, they are really off the chain with the craziness. Gonna put quotas of how many Black people that and Latinos that you arrest each day. That's crazy. Anyway, so we're gonna go to our videos. I have 2 videos now, the farming videos, because we are encouraging our people more to farm and grow our own foods and things like that. All right. So we're gonna watch 2 videos on Blacks in farming. Let's go to those videos.
Shelly Ann Kearns comes from a family of farmers.
We were always subsistence farmers, so we had food growing in our backyard all the time.
So moving to Grays Harbor from Jamaica 7 years ago, she knew she wanted to keep that going.
Sort of a food desert, so I want to be able to provide access to fresh, high-quality food.
Food from soil she owns, a rarity among Black farmers.
You say it's a privilege to own your farmland. Why?
It's a privilege because, as you mentioned, like Black land loss is a thing. Like historically, a lot of Black people own farms, but that number has been dwindling since the farms have become more like conglomerates.
While the number of Black farmers is increasing nationwide, according to the Census of Agriculture, land ownership is dropping. Black farmers lost 80% of their farmland from 1910 to 2007, often because they lacked access to land loans. A historical statistic that isn't lost on Kearns.
It's a pretty huge deal to me, especially because like my dad was a migrant farm worker when I was younger. I have a brother who's currently a migrant farm worker, and they're basically working in subpar conditions on other people's land. So like just the fact that I own the land, it makes me want to achieve a certain height of sustainability.
She's raised close to $9,500 to purchase a tractor and get everything she needs to prepare for her first harvest next year at Bunkhouse Acres. Britt Moore, King 5 News.
In the early 1900s, 1 in 7 farmers were Black. That's according to a report from Data for Progress. And here in Central Texas, Black farmers were a large part of the history, with freedmen colonies and homesteads. In fact, some current area farms still acknowledge slaves tended to their land. But if you look around today, a lot of the Black farmers are gone. We found one, and in this morning's Good Day Together, where we focus on communities of color, we introduce you to Tiffany Washington. She owns the Daubenkamp farm. She's also the descendant of a Black South Austin farming community and granddaughter of Austin civil rights leader Dorothy Turner.
So I've been farming for about 3 years now.
Meet Tiffany Washington.
We're just kind of mulching the outskirts of our beds here at the farm.
Her growing space is over on the east side.
It's been kind of rough because it's hot and dry, so.
But it's passion that drives her.
It's smoky. Hot Texas heat. We use mulch as an outside protective layer up against our fence line.
Right now, she does most of the work herself.
I think it's just a passion in me. It's definitely something that I do that helps with my PTSD. So just the outdoor activity and engagement is good for me.
Out of high school, Washington went to the Navy. Now she's back in Austin, getting back to her roots.
Nice dairy cow compost. Farming is my lifestyle. And I don't see like farming as this job. And it's important to me that I see other people in my community be able to find opportunities within our agricultural system and within our food system.
And yes, even in farming, there's racial injustice.
I want to be able to feed my community. I want to be able to make sure my community has access to fresh foods, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, juices and stuff like that, you know, not just take my produce and sell it to high-end restaurants.
Pointed words, but she has a pointed message.
It's like this socially unacceptable disadvantage to communities of color here in Austin, because they don't talk about agriculture. There's no agricultural equity that, you know, communities of color have in agriculture here in Austin, Texas. And there is none because there are no Black farmers here. I'm the only one.
It wasn't always that way, but in Austin, things keep changing.
You will notice that food system does not look like it supports people like me. So with it being a food town, why doesn't the food flow into marginalized communities? And it doesn't because there's just that social injustice like food apartheid.
Now she's on a mission to re-sow the seeds in the fight against injustice.
I really don't have a choice. I grew up in Austin, like I said, so I come from a family of servicemen and leaders here in the community.
Well, we're a local organization that deals with the issues we feel affect the masses of Blacks in this city. especially to grassroots.
Washington's grandmother, Dorothy Turner, was part of the Black Citizens Task Force, starting conversations about racism and Black discrimination.
Politics governs our very being, you know.
Conversations ongoing for generations.
I don't know, it's just I think that it's a relief, you know, to finally be able to tell people how important it is for communities of color to have a stake in the local food system, because they're starving, they're scared.
A reality she's afraid some aren't willing to come to terms with.
It's the worst conversation ever. It's like, who wants to have to be that person to bring up the conversation? But if that's what I see every day and that's what I'm approached with every day.
A Black farmer speaking her truth.
I want to grow farmers. I want to see more farmers of color who are learning how to be entrepreneurial. Who doesn't want fresh fruit? Who doesn't want fresh vegetables? Who doesn't want the opportunity to see a beautified space revitalized with flowers and just a happy space within their communities? You know, I don't think that should just be for, you know, one area, you know, of the city that, you know, it's been known to be like this urban organic area. But just right now, I'm just prepping, getting ready for the fall.
In our online story, we do have the City of Austin's response and what they say they're doing for our area Black farmers. Washington is still raising money to help keep her farm up and running. You can find information online on social media at Dobbin Cobb Garden Farm.
As we see, the sister was even crying that we're not seeing the potential in this. So let's get our hands in that earth, y'all. We that's where we came from, the dirt of the earth, right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he created us from the dust of the earth. We were the first people. That you see that dirt, what it look like? It's black, right? Okay, so that's what we came from. All right, so we need to not be scared, get our fingers and hands up in that dirt and start working. Okay, so if you got a terrace, if whatever you have, get your hands in that dirt and start, you know, growing your stuff. I was growing my mint here, and I've been having some wonderful mint tea. It tastes so good, and put a little ginger in there and whatnot. So I'm really growing to really love it. So, you know, get with the program, y'all. Get with the program, because as you see, different food shortages and things like that are going to be coming up and whatnot, and we have to have our own. We can't look for America, who, you know, they aren't really for us in the first place. So we need to have our own. We need to have our own resources. We need our own farms. I'm glad to see more and more of us are getting out there and buying land and farming and stuff like that. Please keep it up. Continue to grow your own food. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is a lot of what we didn't know is a lot of our people have their own Black-owned Airbnbs, where, you know, we have houses and land and stuff where people come, you know, for vacation and stuff like that. That's something we need to look into, getting our own Airbnbs. So when our people are on the road and going places and visiting places and things like that, we don't have to feel, you know, so funny going to some of these places that are going to be racist against us. Because a lot of times we show up at places, they don't want to serve us. They don't want to do us right. They want to take our money and talk to us any kind of way and things like that. If we have more Black-owned Airbnbs, wow, we could form a community of those things, and our people could feel safe and feel, you know, wanted when we go to different places like that. So I have a video on the Black-owned Airbnbs. We're going to watch a few of them today. All right, let's see that video.
A bed and breakfast is a small lodging establishment that offers overnight accommodation and breakfast to its guests. Bed and breakfasts are often private family homes and typically have between 4 to 12 rooms. Many have a historical designation, but others are very new and modern. The unique characteristic of most B&Bs is the fact that the host or owners actually live in the house, therefore being able to provide a special organic flavor of customer service and attention to your needs. While you can probably locate a bed and breakfast near any major city, only a handful of them are Black-owned, and we would like to introduce you to them. As with hotels, there is an individual B&B for every type of experience a Black traveler could want. And with enough research, you can support the Black hospitality industry while enjoying your long holiday vacay or a quick 3-day weekend getaway. We encourage you to call a few of these properties today, as supporting Black-owned properties is an easy way to help African American entrepreneurs while diversifying your travel experiences. In this original Black Excellence video, we will highlight 20 Black-owned B&B properties across the United States. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, Moorhead Manor Bed and Breakfast in Durham, North Carolina. This colonial revival-style home offers 5 spacious guest rooms within walking distance to downtown Durham. This establishment is a splendidly renovated and remodeled 8,000 square feet property owned by Daniel and Monica Edwards. The B&B became open to the public in the year 1997 and has been a place of elegance and excitement ever since. If you have never spent the night in an 8,000 square foot B&B, then this property comes highly recommended. Number 2, Magnolia House Bed and Breakfast in Hampton, Virginia. Located in the waterfront downtown area, this gem is Hampton's premier inn with the most sought-after lodging experience for both leisure and business travelers. You can reserve the property for a traditional overnight stay or as a great start to a honeymoon, since the owners, Joyce and Langford, are certified ministers who have married over 70 couples. The historic Queen Anne Victorian offers 3 spacious guest rooms that are sophisticated and comfortable, with impeccable amenities and services to enhance our guest stay. Their delicious breakfasts are a memorable experience, and concierge services are the pride of our hospitality standard. Number 3, The Matriarch Bed and Breakfast in Orangeburg, South Carolina. This 100-year-old home has been elegantly restored, each room beautifully designed and themed for your enjoyment. Opened September 2012, The Matriarch Chef crafts tantalizing cuisines of every genre for any occasion. Available to accommodate a vast array of meetings and social events, this beautifully decorated, spacious home-style inn and rental facility will deliver a uniquely delightful experience for any event. The Matriarch Bed and Breakfast is your one-stop home away from home that will quench your thirst for an extraordinary experience. Number 4, Miss Elsie's Caribbean Bed and Breakfast Inn in Charlotte, North Carolina. Quaintly tucked away and nestled in the mysticism of Celia's Island, this B&B is located in the heart of Southeast Charlotte, just minutes from some of the Queen City's most exclusive retail venues and convenient amenities. Miss Elsie's Caribbean Bed and Breakfast Inn offers the blissful solitude of a tropical island in the midst of a major urban city. While the exterior of our inn is contemporary, the interior invokes the spiritual vibrations of the Caribbean with warm, vibrant tropical pastel colors flowing throughout as tropical foliage accents the decor. At Miss Elsie's, you'll enjoy a luxurious private getaway, a full Caribbean gourmet breakfast, and the personal attention you deserve. Number 5, Welcome Inn Manor in Chicago, Illinois. Built in 1893, this Queen Anne historic home is only a few minutes from the center of Chicago's downtown loop, near popular attractions, including parks, museums, and Soldier Field. This B&B is located in the Lakeshore South neighborhood and is rated in the top 5 of the 25 bed and breakfasts in the area. This 7-bedroom manor has been open since 2011 and offers future guests an advanced lodging experience, including a wide range of innovative services. Number 6, The Inn at Folkestone in Folkestone, Georgia. Guests love this restored 1920s Heart Pine bungalow in the heart of Southeast Georgia. The inn's atmosphere is that of casual elegance, decorated with an eclectic mixture of antiques and modern furnishings. This B&B provides total luxury and relaxation, in addition to its 4 comfortable and distinct guest rooms with feather beds and private baths. This delightful inn is comfortable and inviting, a place where one can totally relax. Enjoy the library, the common living area, or the solitude of your room. It's a place for people who appreciate the warm, friendly atmosphere of a bed and breakfast and the security of a private home. Number 7, the Urban Cowboy Bed and Breakfast in Nashville, Tennessee. This thoughtfully decorated, quaint little B&B is located in East Nashville, where guests can take advantage of all that the Music City has to offer. From the exterior, with the big sunflowers bordering the wraparound porch, to the stunning woodwork detail on the interior, this charming B&B provides you with an authentic Nashville experience. Not only does the Urban Cowboy offer 8 different Southwestern-inspired rooms, it's centered in a neighborhood with several shops and restaurants nearby. Number 8, Pleasanton Courtyard Bed and Breakfast in Fayetteville, Georgia. Pleasanton Courtyard Bed and Breakfast is nestled away, but affords easy access to the amenities of Peachtree City and Hartsfield Atlanta Airport. Each room has a different decor with fine linens and plush towels to ensure your comfort. You will be afforded all kinds of privacy, but there is plenty of common space so you don't feel as if you have to stay in your room. The rural setting, wooded backdrop, and lush grounds call you to slow down and focus on what's important. You'll appreciate the care the innkeepers have taken in designing the property and personalizing their service to your needs. Number 9, Mom Margaret's House Bed and Breakfast in Heathsville, Virginia. This is a 5-star establishment operating in the northern neck of Virginia. It is a lovingly restored grandmother's home, expanded to meet the needs of the 21st century. It was built in 1914 as the residence of the proprietor's grandparents, but today this home is open to the public and avails to its visitors the same generous hospitality that family members have cherished for years. It is the premier lodging destination in the northern neck of Virginia and is perfect for those seeking a destination wedding, girls or couple getaway, small retreats, or just a place to relax and recharge. Number 10, Ye Old Manor House in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. This beautiful B&B is characterized by elegantly appointed guest rooms, cottage gardens, an indoor swimming pool, and manicured lawns over 3 lovely landscaped acres. It is the perfect spot for short or long vacations, romantic getaways, weddings, family reunions, gatherings, and retreats of all kinds. The property can accommodate up to 20 guests in 8 gracious guest rooms. This secluded country manor house overlooking the hillside and the Lauderdale Lakes is a delightful retreat from the outside world.
So, did you see all of those beautiful places? Wow, and they are all Black-owned bed and breakfasts. So if you got some property, maybe your family left you a house down in Georgia. A lot of us, our families leave us different things and we find out about it. We like, well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with that house in Georgia? What am I gonna do with that house in North Kakalaki? I call it Kakalaki, Carolina. What am I gonna do with that house, wherever? Turn it into a bed and breakfast. Maybe you could get together with your family members or your friends and turn it into a Black-owned business. I saw the one that said Urban Cowboy. Did you know that the first cowboys were Black? Yes, they were. They were Black people. So this is a time of wealth. Even though a lot that's going on in this country, wealth is coming to our people. We are going to get our money and stuff like that because we worked this land when nobody else was here. We built this country for free, including the White House, that Capitol, all of that stuff was built by the sweat of our Black ancestors. So they owe us. They owe us. They paid other peoples to come over here and take land. They were letting their people come over here from Europe and giving them acres and acres of land and stuff. But everybody got something, but not us. And they let other nations come here and they laugh at us and call us the N-word and all of that kind of stuff, and because when they come here from other nations, the United States will help them. But we who have been here, they don't want to help us. They want to keep portraying us as these poor people that just don't want to do anything, that we're lazy, we want to go to jail, all this kind of foolishness. All right. Meanwhile, taking the spotlight off of them and the horrible things that they do. All right. So we need to, now that wealth is coming our way, and God is going to make them people pay us back. I'm telling you, He's going to make them, because they're going to reap what they've sown. What they did to us, believe me, God is going to avenge us for it. And they're going to have to give us our money. And when they do, as money is coming in, and sometimes money is coming in through situations. You see what's going on with the airlines and things like that, right? They don't have enough pilots. Guess who they're going to be hiring? Who they are hiring? Our people, Black pilots. Okay. And that's going to be used for so many different things. Okay. So many. So great things are coming ahead for us. So even though they still keep trying to oppress us and all of that kind of stuff, we're going to keep fighting back, and we're going to fight back through the word of God, because the Lord said that He would deliver us out of this oppression and things like that, because we're getting to the time of that. In Deuteronomy 28, it talks about that we would go into captivity, but then it talks about how we're going to come out of it, and God is going to bless us, and He is blessing us. So look for the blessing, y'all. In the midst of the chaos, look for the blessing, because it's coming for us. All right. So now I wanted to go to missing youth. And what I wanted to let you know is that some missing youth have been found. So this is why I deem it important that every week I put up, pictures and things like that of youth, because you never know who you might see. Somebody might see, somebody may watch my show and see the faces of the missing youth. Now, I'm going to read you an article from the New York Post, and it says a months-long operation has recovered 150 missing children. This was in Tennessee. All right. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, it launched the effort Operation Volunteer Strong in an attempt to track down 240 missing kids. 240. See, these people are trafficking young people into sex slaves and all of this kind of wicked stuff. And that's going to tie in with the message I'm going to be bringing forth today about Molech. All of this stuff, nothing is new under the sun. These are wicked things that people from different nations have been doing for years, hundreds, thousands of years. It's just coming a different way at this day and time. With help from the U.S. Marshals Service and the Department of Children's Services, officers were able to find 150 of the children, ranging from age 3 to 17. What you doing stealing 3-year-olds? Shame on you. Shame on you. Whoever you are that's doing this to these kids, you are cursed. God is going to get you. He's going to avenge these poor children for what you are doing to them. All right? You need to stop your foolishness. From 3 to 17, all right? The circumstances surrounding their cases range from, some of them are runaway kids who have been at the center of custody disputes, but that's no reason for you to kidnap them. They're investigating whether 3 of the children were sex trafficking victims. Authorities also still working to find the other 90. Okay, so in that situation, they found 150 of them. Some, of course, sometimes kids are kidnapped because of a breakup in a family. And the adults that do it, you need to stop your foolishness. Handle your business, all right? Stop putting these little kids in the midst of your mess, all right? Go to a legal counsel, get some legal counseling as far as holding your spouse, partner, whatever you want to call. People got all kinds of situations going on. To hold the person accountable that this week you get the kid that way. I mean, how hard is that, right? So let's wake up and smell the coffee and stop this foolishness, all right? Also, those who are selling these kids for sex trafficking and stealing their organs and things like that, stop your mess. You're not God. You don't tell me that you selling their organs and stuff to make money. Stop being lazy and create something that doesn't harm people. Okay, that's not hard to do. All right. Some people sell cow poop and make a lot of money. All right. What are you doing selling children? You know, that's a bunch of foolishness. So that was one of them. And then there was another one from the New York Post. Thank God there was a missing toddler in Italy that had been found. I'm waiting for this to come up. I'm sorry. It's taking a little bit of time. But there was a missing toddler in Italy. She was found by a journalist that was sent to cover the child's disappearance. See, so people are seeing when the pictures come up and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, let me cover that story. A journalist, in this case, found a toddler. All right. So thank God that when he came to Italy, a missing toddler had been found alive in Italy after a journalist who was sent to cover his disappearance heard his cries at the bottom of a gorge. So that was an act of God that this man was able to find this child. So let's continue to bring awareness to these children when they're missing, no matter what circumstance they disappeared under. Let's bring it to an end. All right. Now, today we are going to also do Spotlight on our youth. Today we have Cory Nieves. He's a 17-year-old CEO of Mr. Cory's Cookies. All right, let's do we have his picture? Cory Nieves' picture? Yes. This is for the business starters. All right. So Cory Nieves, he's now 17 years old. He's the CEO of Mr. Cory's Cookies. So let's take a look at his video and see how he started out and all of that.
Once I saw like ideas that made me want to, start a cookie business, and the business just came in effect. It just came along. When we first started, it was 3 cookies for $1, and we usually made $300 a day. And then now we're actually 3 cookies for $5. So we increased our sales, and after that, we incorporated the business in 2012 into LLC Corp. So we have multiple mentors that helped us along the way to get a steady price.
Did it because I wanted to take the business to the next level. That was my goal. We had people who were interested, big companies who wanted Mr. Cory, QVC, Target, and I couldn't fulfill what they wanted. I lied and made it seem like I could, but I really could not.
And now we're actually online, we're selling cookies online, so it's amazing, and we're growing.
Our goal is to hire 70% single mothers in the workforce field, and single mothers don't have an opportunity to get great jobs. I am a single mother, and you don't even have to have the experience because I want to give those people chances. Why not? Somebody got to start somewhere. When you're a single mother, you make sacrifices, right? So I want those mothers to give them an opportunity. I don't know what they'll become, but at least I want to be a part of that history for their future, so they could provide for their child. I'm blessed. I truly am blessed to work with my son because starting your own business, it takes a lot of hours, it takes a lot of time out of your day, and it's a lot of sacrifices. And a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, I should say, or business owners, that they put 80 plus hours or 120 hours in their business and they don't even get to see their kids. So I am blessed that fortunately that I get to spend that time with my son because we're both in business together.
If you're not a kid or an adult, if you want to start a business, do what you love. Have fun. Don't do it for the money because your customers are always going to know they're doing it for money. Do it because something you like. You want to do it every day. You don't want to keep going to sleep. You just want to keep doing it, and that's how you find your passion. So that's my advice. The sky's the limit. Everything is awesome. Be yourself. Be funny. Have fun and eat a cookie. Life is too short to not eat a cookie.
All right. Shout out to Cory Nieves and his mom. She's a beautiful woman. We thank God, that her heart is like that, because they always portray us as being lazy women, having kids and not wanting to be responsible for them. Here she is. She got her son working at the young age. He was 13. He's 17 now. And she's, pushed him to be in business, just selling cookies, just simple things that you really like can really bring about great things, for you and your family. You could create a legacy. So shout out to them. Shout out to Cory that here's a Black youth that's, Black Hispanic, I believe, youth that's doing it. He ain't trying to, all of this negativity. Anyway, so the next segment that we're going to go to is health and wellness. All right. So in health and wellness this week, we're going to ask you to consume less salt and sugar. Some of us, sometimes we just pouring on the salt, pouring in the sugar, like we trying to get diabetes or whatever. So just start cutting back on those things. When you're seasoning your food, whereas you just taking the shaker and shaking all over the place, cut back, little by little, keep cutting back. Because after a while, it'll taste good to you when it's just seasoned with herbs and spices and things like that's really all you need. You really don't need, you just need like a dab of salt and stuff. You don't need to be, and all of that kind of stuff, because the salt is going to produce high blood pressure, and all that sugar and stuff like that will lead to diabetes eventually. So let's cut back on our intake of salt and sugar. Do less of that, and we'll have less, health problems. Because, like I said, the salt, of course, is going to do the high blood pressure. All right. It's going to cause it. It definitely is. So let's cut back. All right. So now we're going to go to business tips for this week. This is what you need to do. Ask for a lot of feedback. Ask for feedback. Ask your friends. You have friends on Instagram that you deal with, and you friendly with them. Ask them for their feedback, and don't feel hurt. Listen to their criticisms as well as the positives. Okay. And then from there, you can make changes. Ask for feedback on Facebook, on all of your social media platforms, and all of your business people that you do business with, and sometimes even people that aren't in business, maybe just family members and things like that. Sometimes let people take a look at what you're doing and just see what they say. Get the feedback, receive the criticisms, and then weigh it out. Pray about everything. That's what I always say. Pray about everything, but also, be where you can be criticized so that people can help you, because sometimes people can see what you can't. But in all of the critics, eat the meat and throw away the bones. Okay. So we are now going to go to today's lesson. All right. So within today's lesson, what we want you to know is that children are definitely a gift from God. All right. Your children are a gift from God. All right. So we want you all to understand that, because we're going to be talking today from Leviticus, the 20th chapter. All right. And children are a gift from God, and they're not to be sacrificed to idols. So what I wanted to share with you is the deity that people were sacrificing their kids to back in the Bible days, that God kept telling them to stop dealing with these surrounding nations, because they deal in witchcraft, they deal in child sacrifice. And this is what's going on now. This is why some of these kids are being kidnapped, is they're being given to idol gods, to deities that, you know, people make up in their minds and things like that, right? And these are things that people call their gods, all right? Moloch, also spelled Molech, a Canaanite deity associated in biblical sources with the practice of child sacrifice. I'm just reading this to you first, and then I'm going to go to Leviticus 20. But I want you to understand the definition of and the practice of child worship. That is definitely not what God wanted. All right. It's a Canaanite deity. The Canaanites were the people that were driven out of Israel, which was today's Israel, so that we could go in. When we left Egypt, God had prepared us to go into Canaan, and Canaan is today's Israel. So the Canaanites that were in there were people that sacrificed to idols. So it was a Canaanite god associated in biblical sources with the practice of child sacrifice. Now, who told you to sacrifice your kids to an idol? That I don't understand that. The name derives from combining the consonants of the Hebrew melech, which means king, with the vowels of boshe, meaning shame. So this is the king of shame. You're sacrificing your kids to Molech, the king of shame. The latter often being used in the Old Testament, right? As a variant name for the popular god Baal. Baal was another idol god that people sacrifice. In the Hebrew Bible, Molech is presented as a foreign deity who was at times illegitimately given a place in Israel's worship. Why? Because our people started dealing with the surrounding nations who were into witchcraft, idolatry, and all of that kind of stuff. And God told us not to deal with those people, right? So it was given a place in Israel's worship as a result of the syncretic policies of certain apostate kings, all right? The laws given to Moses by God expressly forbade the Jews, who's us, to do what was done in Egypt or Canaan. It forbade us to do. The Egyptians that we left in Egypt needed to stay over there because they worshiped idol gods. We needed to stay over there, all right? Or in Canaan, which would have been today's Israel at the time when we were coming into the land. God put those Canaanites out because why? They sacrificed to idol gods. Remember, Israel is the only group, only nation of people that wasn't given an angel to be over them, because God was over us, because we were his chosen people, right? We still are, but we were his chosen people to bring the other nations to worship him. We were made to do that. And we were also made to judge the fallen angels in the end. Those are the angels that fell once Lucifer had fell from heaven because he wanted to be God. He said, I will ascend to the heights. I will be like the Most High God, right? But he got demoted, right? But after him, there were different angels that just kept falling. And so a lot of the surrounding nations worship these angels. If you hear people tell you they've been talking to angels, you know, they've been worshiping angels, not talking to angels, because sometimes angels can appear to you with a message from God. If it's from God, if it's not from God, then that's a fallen angel. So we were meant to judge those fallen angels in the end of time, right? Okay. So he was given a place in Israel's Molech was given a place in Israel's worship because they started turning to idol gods. Now, the Lord explicitly said, you shall not give any of your children to devote them, by fire to Molech, and that will profane the name of your God, right? Because what? The Lord is holy, all right? He doesn't want us sacrificing to all of these different entities that have nothing to do with our God, right? So now we're going to go to um, today's lesson, which is in Leviticus, the 20th chapter, I believe it is. And it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel. Now, why is God telling them this again? Because Israel is very stubborn and hard-headed, right? Have been. All right. And this is why we wind it up here. This is why our men are in jail, a lot of them and stuff like that, is because of our people's disobedience. Whosoever he be of the children of Israel or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech. I just read to you who Molech is. He's a false god, right? He's the god of shame, right? He shall surely be put to death. This is how serious our God is. He said, if you sacrifice your kids to that deity, you're going to be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man and will cut him off from among his people. So a curse was going to come upon you if you are into child sacrifice, which a lot of people are. So share this video so that they know that is not of God, it's of the devil. Stop doing it before God gets rid of you, right? So he said you'll be surely put to death. He'll put his face against you, and he'll cut you off from among your people, because you have given your seed, your generations of people that are supposed to come from you. And it's supposed to continue for generations and generations and generations. Your seed is supposed to continue, but you so silly, you sacrificing your child in fire to this god of shame. Molech means the god of shame. All right, that's what it means. And you're sitting there being silly, listening to these crazy wizards and people that do all this kind of crazy stuff. All of these entities that do into witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. You're sitting there listening to them, giving your seed, your child that's supposed to produce seed and produce seed and produce seed. You're giving your child to this entity. God says not so. He said, because you have given of your seed unto Molech to defile God's sanctuary and to profane his holy name. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man when he giveth of his seed to Molech, and kill him not. So if we stand by and watch it, then I will set my face against that man. So you see, if you're a part of all of this wickedness that's going on with Molech, giving your children to fire, to sacrifice them to Molech, just like within the prisons and stuff like that, within what they're doing with the police department and stuff like that. You sit by and watch these people sacrificing our people to the jail system. You watching it. You're a cop, and you're saying, well, I need the extra money for my family, so I did it. You're cursed. I don't care what you get, what you buy. I don't care what house you get. You are a cursed brother. You are a cursed sister. You going to get your own people. You need to expose that stuff, just like these 4 police officers did today, just like I told you. That's what you need to do. If you stand by and watch it, you're a part of it. That's what happened in the George Floyd case. Those officers sat there and watched that man, that racist white man, kill this man with his knee, and judging that, he committed a lot of crimes, and that's not what. So what? Let him suffer for those things. Let him go to jail for if he's committing crimes or whatever they are. And if he's on drugs or something like that, he don't need to be in jail. He need to be in rehab. I mean, that's not rocket science, okay? But, so if you're a part of these things, it's the same thing, like you just sacrificing to Molech. You sacrificing to a God of shame. And you need to stop your mess, because those who are against us, God is against you. And when you do these wicked things to us, when you put our people in jail, guess what? Your time is coming, where the Lord is going to see to it that your people get put in jail. You going to get put in jail. Your kids going to get put in jail. Because if you read Deuteronomy and you go on from the 28th chapter, the 30th chapter, I believe it is, that talks about, God said, I never thought for these people to put you in the type of bondage that they put you in. It never came into my mind. But since they decided to do it and go overboard, the things that they did to our people, rape and all kind of things, hanging them on a tree and, buck breaking and all of these different things they did to the women. Oh my God. Those people are going to pay for those things. They're going to pay for it. They are. God said, I will make them come and worship at your feet and know that I am the Lord, that I have loved you and that I have been with you. So the same way, if you're doing wicked, dirty things and sacrificing these kids to these idols, you're taking children and doing things, because children are a gift from God. They are not to be sacrificed to idols. All right. And it doesn't stop there. Even when they grow up and stuff like that, if you're part of their downfall, you going down too. All right. So, I just wanted to share this with you because I'm seeing a lot of wicked things that people are doing to children, because children can't cry out sometimes. Sometimes they don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to speak, so I'm putting their faces up so you can see. All right, somebody got something to do with this child missing. Somebody doing something. Keep your eye out, because if you see it, holler back. Let us know you seen this child, you seen somebody with them. I don't care if it's a parent that call itself in a custody battle. You're a grown person. You need to be showing your child how to handle things and stop acting a fool. That's what you need to do. All right. So this is the message I'm bringing to you today, is that your children are heritage. They are a gift from God. They are not to be sacrificed to idols or anybody. Don't let anybody do anything wicked to your child. You step in and you stop it. If it's in school and they're doing wicked things to your children in the school, remove your child from that school. Don't let your child be subject to that wicked behavior. All right. So thank you all. I'm so glad that you came again to visit me here at the Crystal Jones Show. Again, I have a new day and time, air date and time, Saturday, 7 to 8 p.m. BronxNet TV, channel 951 on Optimum and 2137 on Fios. But you could go to BronxNet.tv on Saturdays from 7 to 8 p.m. and you could watch it. Also, you could go to my YouTube page. And you could go to my Facebook page that says The Crystal Jones TV Show. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. And always you stay balanced.
Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits, fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, to a sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept